In the coming years, a colossal solar eruption strips away the planet's ozone, transforming Earth into a lifeless desert. Catastrophic weather plagues the globe, and any creature not hidden from the sun is seared by its unfiltered ultraviolet light. A decade and a half after this event, an engineer named Finch ventures out with his robotic companion Dway, scavenging for resources. He relies on a protective suit that sideswipes several cars in his haste, but manages to flee just before the storm hits. Soon he reaches his underground laboratory, which used to be the space energy company he worked for. The storm is getting closer, but Finch drags Dway away and moves fast to enter the building before they get blown away. Once they're safe, Finch deeply cleans his suit and Dway, and then he takes a shower. Suddenly, he starts coughing, revealing that he's slowly dying because of all the radiation he's been exposed to. After everything is safely cleaned, Finch enters them later. When he activates the robot, it's not capable of speaking, but it can nod when Finch asks questions. Finch is incredibly excited and immediately works on fixing the speech issue, which allows the robot to finally talk and causes Goodyear to bark at it. The robot chooses the name Jeff and proves he knows lots of random facts from the books Finch scanned, but he also must obey the directives Finch has programmed for him, like no harming humans. The most important one is the fourth directive, which says he must protect Goodyear after Finch is gone. Suddenly, the power goes out in the building. Finch has to go outside to get the wind turbine working again while Jeff tries to chat with Goodyear, but the dog just pees on Jeff's legs. At that moment, Finch notices an enormous storm approaching. So he rushes back inside and connects Jeff to the weather station. It turns out that 4 different storms will be coming in the next 24 hours and collide into a superstorm that will last around 40 days. There's finally eating his can of peaches and ignoring his bleeding nose. He looks at his map and notices their only chance is to head west to San Francisco. Then he finishes building Jeff's full body and increases the transfer rate, which isn't ideal because the data will only be at 72%, but they're out of time. The robot body gets connected to the head and Jeff successfully stands up. Finch proceeds to teach him how to walk, which causes Goodyear to bark more. There's a bit of falling, but soon Jeff gets the hang of it. Afterward, Finch packs everything they may need, but also brings along his collection of postcards. Dway keeps bumping into stuff, so Finch uses a security camera to give him new eyes. Then, the group gets on an RV and finally takes off. During the trip, they watch how every place around them is a desert now. And they find a movie theater. The door is locked with a chain, but luckily Jeff is so strong that he can just pull the door off. Inside, Jeff is amazed to see himself in the mirror for the first time, and Finch is excited to find a bag of popcorn. He takes it outside and opens it to show Jeff that the sun is so strong that it pops all the corn in seconds. Their little moment of fun is interrupted when they notice the storm approaching them. They immediately return to the RV and get out of the city, but the storm is about to catch up to them. Their only choice is to find shelter, so Finch gets Jeff to help him tie the RV down with wires. Finch gets tired quickly because of his illness. Thus, Jeff sends him back inside while he finishes the job. Goodyear is sense of shaking, the storm goes away, and the group comes out. Finch notices the last standing wire was the one Jeff put down with his great strength, but he also discovers a tire has been destroyed. They do have a spare tire, and Jeff can just use his strength to lift the RV for Finch to change it. The group spends the night on that spot to rest in peace, and the next morning they open the solar panels to keep going. Jeff barks back at Goodyear, thinking he can learn dog language, so Finch explains to him that it'll take time for Goodyear to trust him. Later, while they're on the road again, Jeff asks, "What exactly is trust?" Finch doesn't know how to explain something so complicated, so instead he shares a story. At his first job, he was put in a team of bad when he gets the hang of it and drives confidently. When night falls, they stop to camp and watch the northern lights, which now can be seen easily because there's no ozone layer. Jeff wonders why they don't drive at night, so Finch explains it's dangerous because starving people attack from the shadows. The next morning, Jeff hears Goodyear bark and rushes to check on Finch, who is throwing up and shivering a lot. Jeff takes care of him and leaves him to rest while he continues to drive. Eventually, they make it to another city. So Jeff asks Goodyear to stay with Finch while he and Dway go out to scavenge. They enter a hospital and look around, but there isn't much. So Jeff asks Dway to guard the entrance while he searches upstairs. Neither of them notices someone watching from the shadows. Jeff manages to find some medicine and a jacket that he decides to put on. He also opens a cabinet that is full of useful stuff. Down the car goes away, and Finch comes out to see the damage, blaming himself for it. Since he can't repair it, he's sure they won't reach San Francisco. And when Jeff tries to comfort him, Finch snaps and yells at him. Jeff doesn't give up and follows Finch into the RV to tell him he believes in him, causing Finch to reply with a story. After the solar flare happened, people were just learning how to survive. Finch had entered a supermarket and only found a bag of noodles. But soon he saw a mother and daughter with a cart full of stuff. The girl had a gun in her hand, and the mother kept reminding her to shoot if she saw anyone. Scared of being shot, Finch stayed hidden. At that moment, a crazy guy with a shotgun showed up and asked for the duo's things, so the mother tried to defend herself. In the middle of the struggle, the man fired multiple times, and by the time Finch came out, both mother and daughter's backpack, only to find a terrified little puppy. That day, Finch adopted Goodyear and promised to protect him at any cost. That's also the day he learned not to trust anyone. The next morning, Finch rests while Jeff continues to drive. Jeff also checks the postcards and discovers the San Francisco one is signed by Dad, not Uncle, and all the others have nothing on the back. Suddenly, the computer announces the UV isn't critical here, and the RV hits a butterfly. Confused, Jeff stops the vehicle and awakens Finch to show him what happened. Shaw excitedly gets to finally enjoy the warmth of the sun again. He's also surprised to find more butterflies and even a flower nearby. Hours later, as they continue traveling, they see lots of plants growing in the area. To celebrate, Finch puts on his nice suit and stops the RV to have a picnic under the sun. Jeff confesses that last night he saw the group at the bridge, which excites Finch because it means Jeff is dreaming. Next, Jeff asks Finch why he lied about the postcard. So Finch shares a new story. When he was a kid, his mom told him his dad had Viking blood in him, and Finch shows Jeff a picture of a Viking funeral. His father left before Finch was born because he was an engineer who built bridges and traveled a lot for contracts. Finch never had contact with him until his 15th birthday when he received the postcard out of the blue. His father wrote he hoped to meet his son one day, and Finch bought this fancy suit for the reunion. Unfortunately, he never heard from his dad again, but he started his postcard collection. Touched by the story, Jeff excitedly announces they can reach the Golden Gate in 18 hours if they hurry, but Finch reminds him he'll die soon and won't be able to make it. After Make throws a ball to show Jeff how to play with the dog, Jeff throws the ball as well, but Goodyear always brings it back to Finch because he's still wary of Jeff. Suddenly, Finch starts coughing up blood, and when Jeff asks if he can help him, Finch says he already did. Then he shakes Jeff's hand, and they share a warm hug. Afterward, Finch goes into the RV to rest while Goodyear watches over him. Jeff stays outside to pick up their things, but as the sun sets, he hears Goodyear cry and knows Finch has finally passed away. To honor their dear friend, Jeff and Goodyear give him a Viking funeral by burning him with his UV suit. At first, Jeff feels lost and he doesn't know what to do, but soon he remembers his promise to take care of the dog. He feeds Goodyear, then plays fetch with him. And for the first time, Goodyear brings the ball back to Jeff. Playing together allows them to bond, and Goodyear even hugs Jeff. Afterward, they take off again, determined to finish their journey. When they finally arrive at San Francisco, Jeff puts up a memorial for Finch, and then he goes to see the Golden Gate with Goodyear. He's amazed by its beauty, but he's more surprised by all the messages left by people for their loved ones to let them know where to find them. Seeing there are more survivors, Jeff tells Goodyear they should find them. So he hangs up the postcard with a drawing of them and then leaves with a dog, ready to start a new life.